So what's good, y'all? We back with another video, and we finally got some trade news, as we all knew that the Utah Jazz were going to eventually start to make a little more moves with Conley, Bogdanovic, and Jordan Clarkson still being on the roster, and with them basically having to be moved because there's no use for them on this team anymore. You knew somebody was going to go. And it looks like Bojan Bogdanovic is the first one to go, as he is on his way to Detroit in a pretty, a decent trade. It wasn't anything like blockbuster. This isn't like a big deal. But I just want to talk about it because, it's content and also it's basketball news. So why not? So let's talk about both sides of the situation. Let's start with the Utah Jazz side of things. And they got the job done. They did what they had to do. They got rid of one of the veterans that basically served no purpose for this team. Bogdanovic did what he had to do in Utah. He was a solid player, put up some pretty good numbers. But Utah's in that rebuild mode. This isn't the team that it was last year, the year before, where they're trying to make a deep playoff run and all that. No. This is a tank year. They are rebuilding. Donovan Mitchell's gone. Rudy Gobert's gone. So Bogdanovic, Clarkson, and Conley, it just made no sense for them to be on this team. And it looks like Bogdanovic is the first one out the door. So, in my opinion, they did what they had to do. Now, I thought they could have got a little bit more because they got Saben Lee and Kelly Olynyk in return. I thought they were going to try to get a first round pick or something for Bogdanovic from a contending team. But I guess not. I really don't know how to feel about that. I don't know how I would feel about that if I was a Utah Jazz fan also. But if it means to clear up space, to get more of these young guys involved, because that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a lot of young players on this Jazz team. They're going to go out there. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to play games. They're going to lose a lot of games. But it's basically a season of trial and error. You want to see who's worth keeping for the future of this franchise, and you want to see who's not really worth it. And that's what this season's going to be for the Jazz. So I guess it's a step in the right direction, but maybe could have got a little bit more. I was expecting Bogdanovic to go to LA, to be honest. I thought he was going to go over there with Clarkson, and they were going to get a pick at least, but I guess not. If I had to grade the move on the Utah Jazz part, I'd give it a B, just because they got rid of Bogdanovic, but I gotta see, not really sure what Kelly Olynyk and Saben Lee are going to do on this Jazz team, but what does it really matter, right? Now, for the Detroit Pistons side of things, obviously I say it time and time again, I'm really high on this team's future, and Bojan Bogdanovic is a bit older, he's in his 30s. This isn't a guy that's going to contribute big time, 5 years from now or anything like that. But for the right now, I guess it's a good move in the fact that he's going to give veteran leadership. He is a vet on a young team. And if I'm Detroit, as good as he is, because Bogdanovic is a guy that can average 20 points per game. Now, is he the most prolific scorer? No, but I'm not going to start him. I'd put him on the bench because I still want to have the youth movement flowing. I want to have Sadiq Bey starting and Bagley and Isaiah Stewart in the front court. I don't really want to mess with that. I want to see what that young lineup can do. But Bogdanovic coming off the bench as a six-man or whatever, place he is on the bench with Alec Burks and these guys, solid move. Now, obviously, from a basketball standpoint, this is another, this is a good move in the fact that they're going to go out there and they're going to get those three-point shots off because this team is young and they're going to run. And Bogdanovic, we all know, he can shoot the lights out of the basketball. So him being out there with playmakers like Cade Cunningham and then, Jaden Ivey is a good secondary playmaker as well. He should be able to have a pretty good year for this Pistons team. Now, how long will he be on the team? I don't know. For all we know, he can get traded during the trade deadline, and the move doesn't even really mean much. But I think Detroit is all in on a playoff push. I think they are really committed to trying to make a playoff run this year because they have looked horrendous for years now, and they're finally getting in the right direction. After the Andre Drummond era, it was looking bad. But after getting Cade Cunningham, it's looking up right now, and this is the time. I said it 2 years ago before they even got Cade, after they won the lottery though. I said, this team is going to be good, but it's going to take some time. But right now, they're on a really fast pace because 2 years later, here we are. The Pistons got a decent mix of vets. They got some pretty good young talent that looks really good. You got Cade Cunningham, who looks like he can be a superstar. Jaden Ivey, I'm really high on. And then you got the rest of the guys that are pretty good role players right now at the young age that they are. I think this Pistons team still is not a playoff team, but who knows what can happen with, injuries and all that stuff happening in the NBA, trades. You never know. So right now, if I had to grade this move on a Pistons side, I'd give it like a B plus, A minus. But right now, it was a pretty decent trade. It wasn't anything that's like league changing or anything like that. This isn't like a Donovan Mitchell trade, but I think it's a good move for Detroit because it shows they are committed in something. The fan base is being shown that they want to go for it. This isn't another tank year. This isn't the time to go out there and win like 20 games. They want to go out there and they want to win as many games as possible and see what the rest of the future looks like for this Pistons franchise. Anyways, that's going to do it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about this trade. Was it a W for Detroit, a L for Detroit, W for Utah, or an L for Utah? This has been a checkup where we talk hoops and hoops only. And I'll see y'all in the next video.